Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of the No Suit Survival series. I am standing on a little bit of a new thing. So I've been doing some work on the base, filling in some of the areas that really needed to have some extra structure, and so I've started to do a little bit of work on the entryway for my hangar here. So that's going to line up with this one, and then we'll have a filled in area here. I'm thinking of having sort of a round shape that will come down here. So I'm gonna bring this. Is this a hexagon? It's octagon shaped landing pad. I'm gonna bring that down to the ground level, so that'll be a sort of like a column, a tower sort of design. And then fill in that back area so you won't actually see anything under there. In here, I'm going to have some little areas that are like bracing brackets. So this is going to be like a wall that comes up from where I am here, so just like straight up here. And then we'll have some little extra decorations that go on that. I've done a lot of work on our little welding area here. Haven't done much work on this upper area, but I've had an idea of what I want to use this space for. What I want to use this space for is a primary living area. I don't know if any of you viewers have been to have you ever gone skiing? And there's a main like cafeteria area that is usually just before the slopes. I don't know. It's been in the few places that I've been skiing, so I don't know if all skiing areas are like that or not. But they usually have like a big, warm, open sort of cafeteria area, a main living area, which is what this is going to be. So it'll have some nice big windows out the front here that you'll be able to see into this whole base, and we'll have a whole bunch of chairs and tables, some food vending machines, some like kitchens and stuff, a bunch of bathrooms, and then we'll have a doorway that connects through to it. So the welding bay here and the lower area here, I'm going to have like an elevator that goes through the whole structure here. So up, a bunch of pistons that go up and down, take you up from the lowest manufacturing area up through the main living area into the control room. And then we've also got this welding pit over here. And then the hangar for all my construction vehicles and everything like that will be a little bit separate. That's more designed for industrial workers or that sort of thing. So it's not super appropriate to have it all totally linked up with the living area for just general residents. I'm not sure if there would be general visitors to this area, but I could actually see this as some sort of a ski slope almost. You could have people coming out here and going down, and then could even build up I had an idea for building a platform that goes between these sort of area, and I could almost build like a ski slope type thing. So some little escalator that takes a person up and down there, and then I'd need to build like a vehicle that you can have fun going down the slopes or whatever. Maybe use the ice skate again, bring that back. Anyway, getting off topic. Let's go and have a look at what I've done here with the new welding pit. One of the reasons why I've built this landing pad here is I want to have just somewhere where I can dock an extra vehicle, and anyone that's coming in to visit the base in, say, like a more luxury shuttle or whatnot, will have a VIP access to this landing pad, which will then probably come down maybe through a side door and into the living area through here or something like that. But I also want a landing pad for my fighter here, so somewhere where it's nice and easily accessible, where I can jump in and get to business. So what I've done here with our little welding area is I've sort of started work on the roof and the general structure of what it's going to look like. I've got some interesting lighting going on here, and I'm thinking of putting in... Oh, this has been damaged. I'm thinking of putting in these neon tubes that are painted orange, sort of to give an infrared heating lamp sort of vibe, and I want to use that through several bits of the structure. So if I come down into the control area for this for the welding area, we've got two ways we can go. We can either go through here, which will lead to a corridor taking us to the main living area, and the elevator, and then this will probably be closed in. We've got an armory here. This is our control area. I've added in the heating lamps as well in here. I mean, it's not pressurized, so it's technically not actually warm in here, but I did put a vent in here, which would technically be able to fill up this place. I could even, what I could do is, I was thinking of what I wanted to do with these, because these are just half armor blocks. What I could do is I could put in the, just the window block that's basically like some vents. I could put that in there instead of the steel plate, so that would actually give airflow through to the vent. If I like chop that out, and then there's my window block. Passage. What about beams? Actually, that's a thought. There's a half beam, isn't there? I could use that. Oh, actually, I quite like that.
Energy inventory full.
Let me deposit all that to cargo 2, no, cargo 1. That's where I'm keeping all of my components for the time being. We don't need that many of those. Right, I want some half beam to fill that gap in. Yeah, I like that. That's a lot. Oh yeah, that's way better. Now, is there anything else while I'm thinking about it? Just as a consideration for options. I am a fan of the beam, but that doesn't mean there's not a better option. No, I think that's what we'll go with. So let me get my power back. So what we're going to do today is I have 2 main ideas. I feel like I have a third one, but I can't quite think of it off the top of my head. But my 2 main ideas is for us to dig out the hangar. So I'm going to hop in my atmospheric mining ship, and hopefully I can still get out of this area here. Still should be able to fly it out. So we can go down into the area down there, dig out what we need, and then the hangar's actually going to be a pretty simple structure, so I could even fill that in and then have some spots there. I could build up this tower, conveyor it up, and then I'd have another parking spot. So that's a couple things. I'll probably just speed through them because they're super simple builds, so I could probably even just skip filming the whole thing, because it's basically, with this one, it's just going to be a repeating pattern of filling it in as we go down to the ground level, so that won't be super interesting to watch build wise. The other thing that I want to do is I want to upgrade our defenses a little bit, and to facilitate that, I had some ideas with the turrets up here. What I'm thinking of doing is increasing the number of turrets up here. So I'm going to make like a bank of turrets. I've done a little bit of fiddling with the ground because I wasn't quite happy. I wanted to show some armor. So what I'm thinking is I could expand this along in this direction. So I'll have like 3 turrets, or maybe even 5. I don't know. I could put like 1, 2, 3, and then we can go up a level and then add another 1, 2. So we'd have 5 turrets. They're just in a great vantage point to shoot stuff. And is that sun going up or down? Let's see if I put my crosshair on it. Can't quite tell because of the glare. I think it's going up, which is nice. It's been nighttime for a very long time for me. So that would make sense that it would be going today. Yeah. So what I want to do is, with all these turrets and with the magnesium I've got, I feel comfortable in building a missile printing bay. So I can use a script so that will automatically fire off some missiles that I build, and they will be targeted by the turrets. So anything that comes within the range of the turrets, which is about 800 meters, will get bombarded by automatically welding and firing missiles. But I've just remembered what that third thing was that I wanted to show you in today's episode, and that is a problem that occurs in my mining system. So those are a bit dark. I wonder if I can add just a temporary spotlight just pointing at them. I need to get like a hinge on. Where am I? I swear I had hinges on here before. Hinge. Oh, that's right, I was doing windows. Okay. So we'll grab a hinge and we'll attach a spotlight to it. Just temporarily. Interesting that caused something to be moved around. I need to bring this down a little bit. And then we'll lock it in that position, grab our light, and add that to this. Just so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about when I do this. It will all make sense in a minute. Right. Yes, that works. Should be able to expand the radius of that, and then bring this hinge down a little bit. See if we can get a better view. Somewhere around there. Okay, that'll do. So the problem here is only one sorter actually works at a time. So all four of these connectors don't actually even get used, only this first one does. So one idea I had to solve that issue is to add a timer block between 1 and 4 timer blocks, depending on how this is going to work, that will control the connectors. So it'll turn one connector off and then turn another one on and then another one off and another one on, and that should hypothetically work. Because when the connector is off, it won't be draining all. So that should work. Now I just need to find a decent place to put the timer block. Maybe I'll put it up there with them, I guess. Do I have I've got like a... Oh no, it is going to nighttime. It's kind of surprising. Didn't think I would go through a full day like that. Now I need to... just realized I like trapped myself in here. Need to have an escape doorway. So yes, we are going to have to live through the night yet again. But look, what I'll do is I could even put a timer. I could put a timer behind each one, like something like this, you know, at worst. So let's see if I can get away with using just one timer block, or if I'll need to use 4 that like alternate between each other. So now it's only dropping out of that. Yeah, it's still only dropping out of one of them. So I think that's because it's not able to fill up completely. So I'm going to instead, I'm just going to do with 4 timer blocks. And it's possible that this is just only going to work with if I bring in a very, very large amount of ore. So they look like they're in their off cycle now, so they should cycle back on in a couple seconds. There we go. Dropped out a single tiny pebble. There we go, now it's dropping something. Although it's only doing that one for some reason. The others filling up? The others are filling up. Oh God, what has happened there? Um. Hmm. What on earth? What could be causing it to do that? Or ejector connector 1. Connector 1. Delays 4 seconds on each of them. Did something. Oh, it's back to flickering. Okay. What about these? Are these at least cycling on and off? Yes, they are. Yep. So why is this one spazzing the F out? And then we will start it. Okay. And then we'll make it silent. So now OR ejector 1 should be toggling on off. Yes. Okay. So that should work in theory if I come back with a larger cargo load. So if I use something like that, it should in theory work. Where we'd get all 4 unloading at the same time. Oh, actually, well, they're all on sort of different cycles now, aren't they? Well, that's actually, that's actually one way I can. That's one way I can make them separate. See, like I triggered these ones. I think they all seem to be on separate cycles anyway, so. I think 1 and 4 might be on a similar cycle. No, they're all slightly delayed or offset from one another, so that should give us the effect that we want anyway of not dropping them, like all 4 dropping at the same time. So maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it how it is for now. And I wanted to change this to Triton main based, just in case I take another blueprint. Triton main base. Okay. So next we can either do the underground mining, or not mining, but excavating our hangar area, or we can work on our missile deployment system. And because it's nighttime, I think I want to work on the hangar instead. So an interesting idea I had for this is to give me a rough guide on the sort of area to dig out. I was thinking that I could put a sensor onto this piston assembly here. Oh, I can't even put it on the spotlight. Nice. That's upside down, so we want it like that. And I don't think I can reach that. So let me go and grab some blocks just so I can somewhat safely walk out into the abyss here and weld up that sensor. Oh, the spotlight's not even done. I think I welded up the spotlight with the hustle, so that's probably why it wasn't fully complete. Now I will need a antenna on the base as well. So where can I put? I was gonna put a like a satellite dish, but maybe I'll just put a temporary antenna in. So I think doing a satellite dish would be a little bit tricky, although maybe I should work on something that's going to be a little bit more permanent. So now we can spin that out. So let's go, woo, spin that over this way. I don't know if this will be the final placement of this, but I kind of just need it there for the dumbest reason, which is to make my sensor able to be viewed. And this antenna dish, now can we change I think I'm actually connected. I'm bouncing off of the Achilles' antenna to connect to everything, like my mining drone or whatnot. So it might make sense to actually use this as my main antenna. So we'll bump this up to 10 kilometers. HUD text will be the Triton main base. And I can get rid of that base too, GPS marker. Unless I'm really far away. But I'm not going to be far away for a little while, so we'll just rely on our antenna signals. Okay, so now that that's on and I assume broadcasting by default, we should be able to go to our sensor. Well, actually we should show sensors, field of range, and then we need to go into the sensor and hit show on HUD. So it should be, yes, displaying this box here. And I can sit in this seat while I recharge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we've got some pistons, drill pistons. I want to extend all the way down. And I think they don't reach all the way to the bottom, do they? No, they don't. Okay. So what we go to do here now is go to our sensor, and we're going to expand these out so that we've got a idea of what we need. So we don't need the top. The bottom extent is going to be like 20-ish meters, so this will be a good way of showing the area that I need to dig out. So 50 meters there, and then front, I don't know, something like that. Okay, so we've got a big box here, and if I go into the spectator camera, we should be able to have a look underneath the voxels here, and then we can see the box that it's displaying here. Now this is probably a bit big for what I want. Do I want a hangar this large? That's kind of massive. I mean, I don't have to use the whole area, and the good thing is, yeah, it's not quite all inside the rock, so I need to be careful about how far forward I dig. Like, I wanted to use the sensor here to, number one, help me dig out a sort of a cube sort of shape rather than just sort of a random whatever hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the amounts by about 10 meters and then see how that looks. So rather than 50 meters, we'll go into 40 meters. And then we'll see how that looks. So it actually changes the amount that is required of the sensor. I didn't know that. I really do wish that they would add a add just a higher power sensor, one that can go at a much larger range, because 50-meter sensor is just... What do you even use that for? Like, the only thing you can use that for really is a hanger that opens and closes itself. Now, can we see that? Is that poking out? No? I think that's kind of perfect. It's random holes. Okay, so that looks better. And then I'm going to keep digging forwards in this direction until I pop out of the mountain here. So this is where the mouth of our hangar is going to be. So if you're returning to this base, you'll aim for this hangar, fly in through here, land somewhere in one of the landing bays around here, and then you take the elevator back up. So now what we're going to do is dig that out. Although, actually, come to think of it, it is starting to get light. And digging this out is going to take quite a while. So perhaps I should work on the missile system instead while I still have daylight. I think that's a better idea. So where do I want to place it? I'm going to put it near-ish to this turret bay. So we're gonna expand this turret battery, and we're gonna have a missile launching silo somewhere. They need to, because they'll be hitting at whatever this turret bay is shooting at, they need to be fairly close to here. Otherwise, they're just gonna launch up from. So say for example, if the turret is shooting something back there, and I put the missile bay down here, it will fire up a missile and then slam straight into the hill. So it makes sense to put the missile launcher up somewhere high. The welding the way I'm going to work it is they need to be on subgrids that can be detached. So they need to be on a small grid which has some nice 1x1x1 merge blocks, and then I need some welders pointing into them, which will weld up the missiles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and flatten out this bit here so it's nice and flat with the rest of this. Yep, and then I also want to clear out this bit here so that I can walk onto a nice flat area. Alright, no attachment point, okay. So O2H2 generators are funny like that. What's that shooting at? Ah. Zombie friends have returned. And yes, that should be the right orientation. There we go. Makes sense to have a nice way that I can walk up to, and then this is where we'll put our conveyor junction to build everything off of. So because I have a bit more creative freedom here, I can place tubes that I can have a catwalk or something over the top of. So we're just going to use regular old conveyor tubes. And it looks like I need to dig down a little bit. Not too much, hopefully. Well, that's dug out a massive hole. God, it's so hard to tell where you're digging with the hand drill. Clear that up. And then it seems to be that I want to go pretty much straight up from there. So go with a curved piece. And we go up. Can I walk up to that? Looks like I can. Jump across maybe? Yes. Okay. Then we'll call the conveyor junction. Cool. So I think I might need to shave down the snow just a little bit more, because if I try building anything on this level, it's going to be a little bit above the snow. Which, no, it's probably fine, because then I can have a nice little structure that like meets up with the snow around this sort of height level. And I can actually just start building that. Like, even if I disconnect that one that's on top of the conveyor, and because it's attached to the voxels, it won't go anywhere. Okie doke. So those are where my projectors are going to be. So they don't need to be piped up. So what we need is a blueprint of a missile. So let's construct a missile. I think the best way can build it off of one of these. That's a pretty novel design. Okay, so these missiles are going to be like as small and dirt cheap as I can possibly make them. Just to see how small can you make a missile these days. So we need a battery, one thruster, one gyroscope, an explosive, and a merge block. So perhaps we'll have the merge block as that piece there. So the middle piece will be the merge block, and then the front will be the battery and the warhead, and then a tip or whatever. So let's go with the merge block. And we don't need cameras. I've got an idea, whatever. So we'll place it. The missile, like on its back. We'll be building it on its back, effectively. So battery. We need a gyroscope, a thruster, and a warhead. So let me grab those out. Okay, so thruster, we need warhead, gyro, thruster, battery. Let's just get all these thrusters. Atmospheric, we'll go with the sci-fi, I guess. Gyro, warhead. We're gonna use the new armor plates. So we need a. Does this have everything? The panel? Yeah, that has everything. Okay. Panel. Is that everything I need? I'm pretty sure that's everything I need. So we've got our merge block, our battery, and we'll have a warhead. Because the script that these run on is going to be the RDAV missile script. Let me grab that out so I know what I'm doing. RDAV's guided missile script. What do we need on a missile? Each missile requires one thruster, one gyro, one power source, and one merge block. Okay, yeah, I was right. So So we need gyro, and then we need a thruster, and the way that we're going to connect the thruster is with panels, which will run along the sides like this. So that gives us an attachment point for the thruster. I need to do one more, I think. Okay, and then we should be able to place in a thruster here. Right? Or here. There we go. That's not a... Yeah, that's not a cargo port. Right, now I don't have any way of accessing that. No, like... control panel, so I need to add in a control panel of my own. So that I can label these. So just for the purposes of making the blueprint, we're gonna call this an icicle for Triton. Oh, that's what I came up with that idea. So the icicle. How's the icicle spell? So the spellings are like icycle or icicle. Yeah, we'll go with icicle atmospheric missile. Okay. So then we need to come in here. We keep the control panel so that we can use the setup of the missile. Now I think I need to rename everything on the missile as like something specific for the script. What was it called? Let's see now. Ah, yeah. Everything on the missile should be called #A#. So we just change everything to that so that the script knows how to control everything. And then we can get rid of the control panel. And this magnetic plate. And I will need to change out into my non-cloud mode so that I can make a blueprint of that. Great thumbnail. I need to take a better picture at some point. I have like a little positive. Can I make it tilt up a little bit and then just activate the thruster? Yeah? Okay. Bon voyage! Nice. Safe disposal. Okay, so now these all need to be piped up to that conveyor system. Alright, so what is the orientation of these? Okay. So now go to it's right there. So we need a vertical offset. Till the merge blocks are at the same height. And then we need to spin it around. like that. Then we need to angle the hinge forward so that it's not in the ground. And it looks like I'm going to need to take out these blocks here for each one, just so that we don't get any clanging nonsense. What I can do is I can place in some slope blocks here. So that is how far? 15 degrees. Now hopefully if I use this to copy and paste that, we should be able to get the missiles in the right positions. Excellent. Okay, so now we just need... I don't think these welders are going to work. Not in that orientation. So let's have a look. Can this weld that? Can it weld everything? Good thing I locked these. It's missing the warhead. Typical. Okay. So we need to turn off the lock and move it up a little bit. Well, maybe we'll just have to see how it goes. Okay. So now all we need to do is we need to determine a designator. So this Gatling turret here, and we'll call this hash a hash. So this is going to be our designator turret. Make sure all of my Gatling turrets have their range set up properly. And I don't want... Do I want them shooting characters? I want some of them to shoot the zombies, so whatever. Ideally, I need a target to test this on now, but for this all to work, I need a programmable block. So I need to find somewhere where I can put some scripts. I think I could just use an area back in here. Say, yeah, perhaps... Why does that armor block look so weird? It's trippy. Yeah, I think I can make like a little room in here for some programmable blocks. Okay, so programmable block number 1, we need RDAV missile script. Go browse. Guided missile. Okay. So code in the programmable block. Additional information is on the page. I want this to auto fire. And I know that's an option that you can do. Auto lock. Auto launch is true. So Read the setup and hints. Okay, so we've got our programmable block. We can put a sound block on the base somewhere for a missile lock. But our base is so big that having a sound block anywhere is going to be kind of tricky. I could like fly a dummy vehicle up into the air with a remote and then like transfer everything to the space pirates. And then it would count as an enemy. Just as a preliminary weapons test. So I just need a very simple flying vehicle for that then. Well, it's gonna fire like all 4 missiles. Yeah, whatever. Worth it. We'll end this with a bang. Okay, so let me just build up like the most basic ship possible with a remote control. I like this magnetic plate. I don't think it sticks to the ground unless you weld it up, by the looks of it. Let's fly this off into the great beyond. I've taken all the bullets out of the Gatling turret that is still able to hit this thing. So hopefully it doesn't need bullets to fire off a missile. So we shall see. And this is actually a really small target now that I think about it. So I'll be pretty impressed if the missile hits it. But I'm just testing if the missile even launches in the first place. So here goes. We'll convert everything to nobody and see if it works. Well, the turret's still working. But has it launched a missile? It has! Nice. So at least we know that the missile deployment system works. Now that's odd because I'm sure I disabled the conveying of bullets. Oh right, I took the ammo containers out of the turret, but the turret still had a clip in it. So yeah, okay. Well, that works. I am satisfied with that. And we've got a nice bit of daylight now. So when I next come back on, I'll be able to do the hangar area. That's my next goal. Now that I've got my defenses all sort of worked out and I'm not just super vulnerable or a sitting duck anymore, I can actually defend myself in some reasonable fashion. So, and also tried to figure out my mining system over there, and hopefully that works a bit more appropriately now. I'll need to come back with a large load from perhaps this mine I'll take out again and see how that goes. But until next time, I'll see you later, everybody. Thanks for watching.